outside the presidential home, where that letter of recall was handed over to the president earlier. Mzwai, good afternoon to you. What's the movement there? What or who have you seen?
Natasha, we are standing outside Gate 9 here, outside the presidential guest house. On the main road, Stanza Popape, it's Gate 10. That's where normally the president or the deputy president come in or get out. So what we have just seen, but we are at a distance, was a convoy of about 5 cars. Normally, a convoy of that nature carries former presidents. That convoy was coming out of the presidential guest house. We assume perhaps, as I can say, this is a wild guess because we haven't got any information from anyone. So we are just saying this based on that convoy we saw. It's possible that this could have been former President Kgalema Motlanthe or even former President Thabo Mbeki. So I would think the ANC may have roped them in to perhaps come and speak to President Jacob Zuma, because this decision is not an easy decision that they have taken. It's a very tough decision. So you would need all the wisdom of the former leaders perhaps to be able to sit with their peer and impress upon him the importance of all of this. So yes, I think as time goes on, we'll be able to confirm who exactly was the person. But as I said, our wild guess is between former President Kgalema Motlanthe and former President Thabo Mbeki. So yes, they've been there after the SG, Ace Magashule, and the Deputy SG delivered that letter to President Jacob Zuma.
All right, so based on what you've just said, that potentially former presidents could have gone in to try and talk to President Zuma, to try and persuade him perhaps to abide by what the NEC has decided. But constitutionally speaking, Mzwai, it cannot force him to resign. Yes, the NEC is the highest decision-making body, but they cannot force him to resign. So in other words, he can hear what they're telling him, but it doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to do what they're telling him.
Basically, what they are doing as the governing party is that he is their deployee. He is sent by them to the position that he is holding. If, as the governing party decides that they now want to change him, so they are within their rights to do that. But bear in mind that doing that would be a mere recommendation, because constitutionally, as you have said, it's Parliament in South Africa that elects the president. So in the event, for example, let's say he says, no, I'm not going to resign. So it's Parliament that will have to be roped in and they can then be able to remove him, because the political party, all it can do is to recommend, because they would say, you are our deployee. We feel you've served your time. Maybe it's time to move to allow space for the new leadership so that it can take over in preparation for 2019.
All right, and just looking ahead to 2 o'clock with that media briefing that's set for Luthuli House, are we going to hear more details of what transpired last night?
I think that's what everyone is really hoping for right now, because we've been speculating. Whatever information we've been giving to the public is based on sources, it's based on speculation, and some of it you say 1 + 1 it equals to 2. So some of it you deduce from certain events, but at 2 o'clock we'll then be able to know exactly what transpired, because we will now be getting the official confirmation of what exactly happened. It's possible some of the information we may be relaying may perhaps be missing a bit of facts, but then what the SG will do at 2 will be able then to take the nation into confidence. In fact, it will then give us a clearer picture as to what will be the next move for President Jacob Zuma, because the SG will be addressing that media briefing having seen the president 2 hours earlier. So we would be in a state of really knowing what exactly is happening in the country.
All right, Mzwai, thanks so much for now. We'll leave it there. I'm Mzwai Mbeje live from Pretoria.